In today's team selection video, I'm going to discuss why I think Salah still could be the best captain despite him blanking against Nottingham Forest, and as well I'm going to pick my starting lineup for game week 22 in today's team selection video. And we are here with my defensive line for my game week 22 lineup. Just quickly to mention, I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, please do consider it, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like. But we're going to start things off, as I start most videos actually, with talking about the double Arsenal defence. Of course, they have a difficult fixture this week of Aston Villa, but it is at home, so fingers crossed we can come away with a clean sheet in this one. However, Aston Villa do attack pretty well with Morgan Rogers, even Ollie Watkins having a really good game last fixture against Everton. But maybe Duran comes on, who knows how that rotation is going to work in that Villa team. But overall, with the home fixture for the Arsenal boys, I'm not too worried about it. I think it's a decent enough fixture for them to prove to the rest of the league that they still are in this title race, especially after that amazing Spurs win, that 2-1 win at home. With Trent just next to Gabriel, I want to speak briefly about him because there is some doubt regarding Trent, whether he's still an option. Is it worth even bringing him in at the moment? And for me, I wouldn't probably bring him in for this fixture in particular, and I'll explain that later in the video when I talk a little bit about Salah and the overall Brentford fixture. But with the double game week coming up with Trent, I still think he's definitely a hold. I wouldn't be looking to sell him unless it really funds a move to the likes of an Isak or something like that. I still think Trent's a really great asset to own. If I was to pick a Liverpool player right now in the defensive line, I would probably go with Konate, just being that cheaper option, and you're obviously going to get a strong chance of a clean sheet each and every single week. And of course, he did come off a little bit earlier in the last fixture, but with him just coming back into the squad, I can kind of understand why the sub was made. And of course, they were chasing a 1-0 loss at the time. So yeah, I think Trent's definitely a great option, and especially in this fixture, I think he could come away with an attack and return, but I'll leave that when I speak about Salah in just a second in the midfield section of the video. With Robinson with the Leicester away fixture, we can obviously understand how Leicester are struggling in the Premier League, and Fulham do look a really good side. Obviously, losing against West Ham isn't ideal for them, but I still think they're a decent enough side, and I can really see a good potential of a clean sheet for Robinson this week. And of course, coming away with 2 assists last game week is really fantastic. Obviously, the game week is still in progress. That's why you can see an asterisk on my rank there. I'm currently watching the Ipswich and Brighton fixture just down below me. It's 2-0 currently with 3 minutes to go. The United fixture was at half-time last time I looked, but yeah, that is how I'm going to line up with the defence this week. No changes needed in the team at all, to be honest. I'm going to keep rolling my transfer, and you'll see why I've done that when we get closer and closer to the double game week. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the defensive lineup. Of course, the fixture for the Arsenal boys isn't ideal, but it is at home, so I do have some hope of a clean sheet for that one. Now, I said I was going to save talking about the Brentford fixture for Mohamed Salah, and that's because he could be my game week 22 captain. And my reasoning for this is because it is at the GTEC Stadium, and when you look at the data and look at the stats of what's going on at that GTEC Stadium, it's actually crazy. Across all home games for this season, there's been a total of 50 goals at the GTEC Stadium where Brentford play, and away from home, when Brentford go away from home, there's only been 27 goals combined between both the teams, them and their opposition. So I think there is a strong possibility that this match could have a lot of goals in it, and part of the reason that I kept Mbeumo and I'm actually playing him this week is because of that as well. I think there's a really strong potential of a lot of goals in this fixture. I did mention last week I didn't think there was going to be too many goals in the Nottingham Forest fixture, and kind of I was right in some regards. Only 2 goals in that fixture. It could have been a lot more. Goal line clearance for Salah, 2 great chances for him as well. I did captain him last week. I kind of made that change on the deadline stream, which really backfired. I should have stuck with my gut and went to Alexander Isak, but we live and learn, of course. But this week, I really do think Salah could be one of the better captaincy options with that away fixture to Brentford. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, that coincides with the Mbeumo pick over Rodgers on the bench there. I just think there's more potential for points in that fixture for an Mbeumo compared to an Arsenal away fixture for Morgan Rogers, who will make his way on the bench this game week. We do have Cole Palmer in the team, of course, with that amazing Wolves at home fixture. I do believe in the reverse fixtures when he got the 3 assists. I think it was 17 total points he scored that game week. So it could be definitely an option to captain Palmer this week. It's just Chelsea yet again just disappoint. I do understand that Bournemouth last week were a very, very good side and they haven't lost a game now. And I believe 9 game weeks in the Premier League, which is honestly outstanding. And obviously you can see Kirkes on the bench there. I've got him still in my team for a good reason, and I think, yeah, I'm just not too keen on the Palmer captaincy. It's just Chelsea as a whole, not Cole Palmer himself. I still think he's an unbelievable player, but yeah, Chelsea are just really on the downtrend at the moment in terms of losing points, but Palmer still could come away with a lot of points this game week against Wolves. Of course, I will mention again, 17 points in the reverse fixture. There's a lot of goals in that reverse fixture, so maybe we see that again, but who really knows. Ismaila Sarr is an interesting one. Of course, he did get the assist for game week 21, which was really great, but Eze did match that points total with an assist himself. So yet again, Ismaila Sarr is behind in that Eze and Sarr foot race, but I still think with the value you're spending on Sarr, it kind of is worth having him in over Eze, because as far as we're aware, you know, Mateta is still on penalties, and that's kind of a big thing when you go in between Eze and Ismaila Sarr. So yeah, across the midfield, things are looking really good. I think Rodgers on the bench is the correct decision, and just to play Mbeumo in that fixture in hopes that there's a lot of goals in that Brentford away fixture for Liverpool. And of course, Brentford have Liverpool at home there. So yeah, we'll see how we get on this game with the midfield, but I still think Salah could be the best captaincy option this game week. But let's look at the forward line and some other great captaincy options for game week 22. Now we're going to speak about the forwards and, of course, the 2 other captaincy options I am considering this game week. I will start off with João Pedro, though, because at the time of recording, I am watching the Brighton game just below the camera here, and it's only 2-0 to Brighton. João Pedro, no attacking returns as of yet, and I do believe he picked up a yellow card earlier in the game. So, again, a little bit disappointing from João Pedro, but at least we know he's fit and available, and it seems like he's going to be playing a full 90 again for Brighton, a super important player, and, of course, is on penalties, and there's a value option in FPL. I still think João Pedro is a player to consider. I mean, if you think about it, the players around that price point aren't too great. You've got the likes of Wissa, who you could maybe stretch up a little bit to, and perhaps after this game week, when they face Palace away from home, that's maybe a transfer I could consider. But at the moment, I'm quite happy just keeping João Pedro there, and let's see how he does in this United fixture, and then maybe we could look elsewhere to upgrading that spot with the money in the bank, or like I say, go to a Wissa who does have good fixtures coming up and just keeps scoring goals. He's absolutely unbelievable, Wissa. But for the moment, I'm quite happy with João Pedro sitting there. We do have the other 2 captaincy options to talk about. I'm going to start with Chris Wood here. And of course, probably the easiest fixture Chris Wood will have this season. Southampton at home. Of course, the City ground is an absolute fortress. 1-1 was their last result against Liverpool, the best team in the league. So yeah, very, very optimistic about a Forest win here, and I don't think they will concede any goals in this. So if you do have Forest defenders, good for you. I sadly don't think I'll be bringing in any Forest defenders this week, just because past this fixture, I'm just not too keen on the fixtures after it. So yeah, I just don't think I'm going to look to captain Chris Wood this game week, because Awani is back in the Forest squad, and I can kind of foresee maybe an early sub for Chris Wood. It is an easier fixture for Forest. If they get ahead early, maybe by 2 or 3 goals, I can really see a transition to a back 5 system. Chris Wood comes off, Awani comes on, and that's kind of the end of Chris Wood's game. So I kind of want to avoid that. There is a chance that Chris Wood just plays the full 90, of course, but I do think in this easier fixture, maybe he gets a little bit of a rest for 20 minutes at the end of the game, but who really knows how that's going to go. In terms of Alexander Isak and maybe captaining him, I do really rate Bournemouth at the moment. They just haven't lost a game in 9 weeks in the Premier League. Very resilient, a very good attacking team. And maybe Newcastle see their first kind of struggle in the last few weeks. Obviously, Newcastle have been absolutely cruising the Premier League with Alexander Isak up top, but maybe Bournemouth are a little bit of a hurdle for them to jump over. And of course, if they can jump over Bournemouth, they look to go on in the top 3 of the Premier League, which is absolutely incredible. That run after December has been unbelievable for Newcastle. But yeah, I'm just not considering too much an Alexander Isak captaincy at the moment, just because I do really rate Bournemouth currently in the Premier League. In terms of an overall view of the team and sort of how I'm allocating transfers going forward, you will know if you watch my transfer plans video, I'm just planning to roll my transfers. I don't think there's too much value in going for a Forest defender or a Forest goalkeeper simply because of the future fixtures. And as well, Arsenal do have some decent fixtures coming up. So for me, no transfers needed. I'm going to continue to roll, and then when we get to game week 24, I do think possibly there could be a move made at that point to really attack the double game week. I don't think I'm going to go for the Arne Slot assistant manager chip for the double game week. I do think I'll just go triple Liverpool, maybe Trent, Konate, Salah, possibly Diogo Jota, but I'm still just not sure on the minute allocation that Jota will get. There is some positive sort of quotes floating around from Arne Slot where he said Jota is ready for 90 minutes now. He's fit enough to contribute 90 minutes to the Liverpool side, which is really good news because I just love owning Diogo Jota in FPL. He just does so well when he's fit and ready. He just does have these little periods of injuries, which is a real shame as a football fan just watching Diogo Jota because I really, really like watching him play. But yeah, overall with the team, no transfers needed. I'm going to continue to roll at the double game week. But yeah, overall pretty happy with the side for game week 22. Of course, the outro every single video, I'd like to give you guys at home a massive thank you for supporting the FPL Mugs YouTube channel. Of course, if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like. And if you aren't yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing to the channel. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.